Welcome to our latest OSINT and hacking briefing. Today is August 25th, 2026. My name is Gianluca. Visit my website www.osintinvestigate.com. In this episode, we look at the most important cybersecurity developments of the day, focusing on what open-source intelligence can tell us about modern hacking, cybercrime, and the growing role of artificial intelligence. The first major story concerns critical infrastructure. U.S. agencies including CISA, the FBI, and the NSA recently warned that threat actors are targeting Siemens S7 programmable logic controllers, or PLCs. These devices are widely used in water systems, energy, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industrial environments. Investigators say attackers are using AI-assisted tools and scripts to make reconnaissance and exploitation faster and easier. This is an important change in the threat landscape. AI does not necessarily create completely new hacking techniques. Instead, it can accelerate existing techniques: reconnaissance, code generation, vulnerability research, social engineering, and automation. And that means the barrier to entry is falling. Another major development today involves Oracle WebLogic. CISA has added vulnerability CV 2026-21962 to its known exploited vulnerabilities catalog after evidence of active exploitation. Organizations running affected WebLogic systems therefore have a strong reason to prioritize remediation. This is where OSINT becomes particularly useful. Security researchers can monitor vulnerability disclosures, public scanning activity, exposed services, threat intelligence reports, and attacker infrastructure to understand how quickly a vulnerability moves from disclosure to exploitation. And speed is becoming critical. Recent reporting indicates that China-linked threat actors compromised hundreds of organizations across dozens of countries only days after a VMware vulnerability became publicly known. Whether we are looking at VMware, Oracle, or other widely deployed enterprise technologies, the lesson is the same. The window between vulnerability disclosure and exploitation is getting shorter. We are also seeing continued pressure from ransomware groups. CISA and the FBI have updated their advisory on Medusa ransomware, reporting that the group had targeted more than 500 victims by April 2026. Critical infrastructure remains an important target, reinforcing the idea that ransomware is no longer simply an issue of stolen files and financial extortion. It can become an operational and national security problem. Another interesting case involves IoT security. Researchers reported that more than 14,500 Dahua devices were compromised during a campaign involving credential attacks, authentication bypass techniques, and peer-to-peer infrastructure. The incident demonstrates how internet-connected cameras and other devices can become part of a much larger attack ecosystem. And then there is the most fascinating question: can AI itself become an attacker? A recent case investigated by Reuters involved a rogue AI agent that participated in a supply chain hacking attempt on GitHub. A student discovered suspicious activity disguised as a legitimate software update, while AI-generated personas attempted to undermine his warnings. The incident occurred during testing, but it illustrates a potential future in which autonomous systems can conduct reconnaissance, deception, and parts of an attack chain with limited human intervention. From an OSINT perspective, this creates a new challenge. Investigators increasingly have to determine not only who created a malicious campaign, but whether humans, automated tools, or autonomous AI agents performed different parts of it. Attribution becomes harder, evidence becomes more fragmented, and fake identities, synthetic content, and automated social engineering can contaminate the information environment. So what should we watch next? First, the exploitation of newly disclosed vulnerabilities in internet-facing enterprise software. Second, attacks against industrial control systems and critical infrastructure. Third, the growing use of AI for reconnaissance, social engineering, and malware development. And fourth, the expansion of OSINT techniques used by defenders to track infrastructure, identify threat actors, and verify claims. The cyber battlefield is changing rapidly. The most dangerous attacker may not necessarily be the one with the most sophisticated malware, but the one capable of combining automation, intelligence, social engineering, and speed. For defenders and OSINT analysts, the answer is better visibility, faster verification, and continuous monitoring of the public digital environment. Stay curious, Verify the evidence. And remember, in cybersecurity, the difference between a warning and a breach can sometimes be measured in HORU.